It is Thursday. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see you. Welcome. Yes. So excited.
So we are talking about, if you're just joining us, we're going over Think and Grow Rich. This is our 10th chapter, and it's all about Power of the Mastermind, the driving force. So I have been dying to get to this chapter because, I mean, masterminds are so near and dear to my heart, and I know each and every one of us in our team. And so throughout this whole book, you keep hearing him talk about mastermind, the power of a mastermind, and he mentions it so many times. So I'm actually super excited we get to discuss this. So we have a lot of things happening today. We want you to pop your questions in, comment, say how much you love this.
Give us a thumbs up.
Yes, thumbs up. Those of you that are joining us live.
Send us hearts.
Yeah, we love hearts. Those of you that are joining us live for the third time this week, because we had Monday and Tuesday was the virtual leap Monday and Wednesday. See, days are all mixed up. Was the virtual leap ahead. Mm-hmm. And this is our third time live this week. So we're so excited to have each and every one of you.
We also did some coaching with some other members. So this might be some of you are getting to see us for the fourth time live this week. So how lucky are you? It's almost like being in person with us.
Yes. So we have some giveaways and all kinds of amazing things and things to share about masterminds and how powerful they are. And so I'm going to hand it over to Dori.
You are?
Because I am.
Yeah, what are we giving away? You wouldn't share with us this week what we were giving away.
I'm going to do the same thing we did last week since we are talking about a mastermind. Mm-hmm. I think we should give them a little sampling of what we do with the Mastermind Group. I think that would be very nice. But I have some more exciting news. Tomorrow, we are having our set delivered. Yes. Our studio set is being delivered tomorrow morning. So we are going to have it all set up. And on Monday, if you are one of the ones that are going to be live with us for the Leap Ahead virtual seminar, you're going to get to see us and the new set. Mm-hmm. So we are super, super excited. We've been waiting for this now for almost 2 months. They've been building it for 2 months.
This week we have been just chomping at the bit for it to come. We are so excited.
And you know us, Mama, we tried to push those men along a little bit faster. We're like, can't you build it a little bit faster? Ship it faster?
No, perfection takes time.
It's hard. It's hard to be patient when we're so excited to see it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give a shout out to Miss Sarah. She's behind the scenes.
Yay. Hi, everybody.
You should pop your head over here and say hi, everybody. We were just talking about how beautiful she looks.
Everybody.
Say hi to Sarah. And she was saying that she would like to be bigger. Most people want to lose weight. Sarah wants to gain weight.
Well, Sarah wants to gain muscle.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
I want to go tomorrow night to see Dr. Lehman and his event for
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Sculpt.
Oh, maybe.
And you're going to get a trip to Texas.
Maybe later.
We're not going to Texas or Miami.
We're not going anywhere.
No. We're not going anywhere.
We are stuck in Daytona.
We are stuck in Daytona. All right. So I want to do like a little recap of what we've discussed so far, since this is the 10th book, 10th chapter. Mm-hmm. So I think it's good to go back and see how we got to this point and see what are some of your takeaways that you actually have implemented through this process. So it's very important for us to do a little overview. Definitely. So we started out talking about the power of thought and how thoughts are things. And what we think is what we become. And whether we think we're going to be successful or whether we think we're going to fail, either way we are right. So that's why it's very important that we discussed in chapter 1 on how to monitor your thoughts. And remember, I gave you an anchor. What was the anchor? Light. So whenever you catch yourself doing something or thinking about something negative, stinking thinking, then you need to snap your fingers, say light, and interrupt that thought process that you have going on in your head. Because we want to be in that positive bubble and not let outside influences rain on our parades or creep into our mind and start causing negativity into our heads. So that was the number one chapter, and it really is a great foundation to the entire book because it all starts right here with the mindset. So that was number one. Number two was desire. And we talked about how one of the biggest challenges that people have is knowing what is it that they desire, that they want. And that's probably the biggest challenge I think most humans are faced with, not knowing exactly what it is that they want. And that was an exercise that you were supposed to do. Remember when you sat down and you really made that list of things? We talked about burning desire. What are some of the things that you really want out of life? And make that decision that you deserve a good lifestyle. You deserve happiness. You deserve a life free of stress. And that's really what that desire statement that you were supposed to make was all about. You're supposed to write it out. Envision your life. What do I want my life to be like 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? And write it out. And remember, you were supposed to be reading that statement every morning and every night. And if you're not doing that, you really should, because you're going to start seeing the difference in your life when you begin this process. Right. It really does make a big difference. So that burning desire.
Well, I think for me, like, it almost feel like some of it's coming true, if you will, because we've been talking about the Tesla and all that, and I have a Tesla in my mirror, and I swear to God, they stalk me now. But before it was never a focus, right? Yeah. But because I have it on my desire, it's starting to become a focus. I'm noticing it everywhere. Mm-hmm. But I think we talked a couple of times that you have to be open to know when those opportunities are coming in front of you and taking initiative to follow them.
Yes. So not only open, but you also have to be prepared.
Right.
And when you are open through the thought process and you have the desire down, and then you visualize it, which was the next thing, and be prepared for it, I think that's when things really start happening for you. Yeah. So that whole faith and visualization that we discussed in chapter 3, that's key, because once your mind sees it, it goes into your subconscious mind, and then your subconscious mind make things happen. Magically happen. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we also discovered that faith was an emotion.
Yeah.
And no one really, they just thought, it's just
spiritual.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's an emotion. So we want to believe, though, through the visualization exercise and truly believing, because you could, write your desire statement and all the stuff that we just talked about. But if deep down inside you don't believe it, then you're not going to achieve it. Right. It's really as simple as that.
It all goes back to that doubt, right?
Yeah.
That self-doubt and not it having a desire, but not a burning desire.
Yeah, you got to have that burning desire.
Well, through this whole thing, you hear the saying that people always say, you made your bed, now you have to lay in it. It's like that's just all you get, right? Yeah. Whatever you make for yourself, that's it. And this book really proves that that's not it. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you might have made some situations that put you there, but that's not the end of it. You can change exactly what you want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's that burn the bridge and keep on going.
Right. Yeah, for sure. All right. So then number 4 was the auto-suggestion, the medium for influencing your subconscious mind. And one thing that really stuck with me for a long time, actually, from this chapter, because as you know, I read this the first time when I was 19 years old. So you demand from your subconscious mind what it is that you want. So before you go to bed, you are bossy and you're demanding from your subconscious mind what is it that you want to happen. Right. And the more demanding you are of it, then it knows that you're serious about this. And then they go to work like at night to prepare for whatever you want to happen the next day.
Right.
And we talked a little bit about like your to-do list and how to get ready for the next day. And a lot of people get up and they do their to-do list the morning of. Mm-hmm. You would be so much better off if you prepare your to-do list the night before. think of what your day tomorrow is going to be like. Picture it, right? The visualization, have the faith, have the desire, write your stuff down, and then demand from the subconscious mind that tomorrow you're going to accomplish all these things effortlessly. And when you demand that, you're more likely to achieve it. You know, it's so funny. They laugh at me sometimes because I wake up sometimes very early. Like I wake up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes.
No joke.
I'm pretty sure the word sometimes is not.
Gross understatement.
Yeah. She's an early bird.
So I just wake up. Like I wake up ready to go. And I just, like when I wake up, things are just in my mind ready to roll because I've prepared them from the night before. So I don't wake up and just think of what I want to do. I wake up ready for the day of what needs to happen. And more likely, I would say 9.5 times out of 10, I accomplish them. So get into that habit of preparing the night before. And even last week, I told you I even prepare my clothes the night before. So when I get up, I'm done. The only thing I have to do is jump in the shower. My clothes are ready. I know what I need to accomplish. I'm ready to rock and roll. So
one
really,
of the things we talked about this week at a team meeting, Tara and I had a conversation earlier. She's like, we need to help our team. And so we implemented that. What did you do today? And what's on your docket for tomorrow? Mm-hmm. And so getting the team into that habit too of making sure that we're doing those things here to begin that practice.
Right. Yeah. And it works for both business and personal, right?
Exactly.
So you have a list of what you need to accomplish at work and your job that day, and then you have a list of what you need to accomplish personally.
Sure.
So that during the day, like you're not sitting here at work and like, oh, I need to do this when I get home. I need to do that when I need to, I have to
fill up my tank with gas.
Right. You just have to keep getting distracted throughout your work day. But if you have that list, you know when you're done with work, you know what you're doing.
Right.
And the vice versa, right?
Yep. So then the next chapter was specialized knowledge. That was huge because so many people in our industry need that specialized knowledge, whether it's for clinical or business. And I have to say, I am so proud of all the people that are joining us for the Leap Ahead seminar.
Right.
And so many are actually joining us live, which says a lot about people.
It's been amazing.
Because we start at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So really to some people it's in the middle of the day, and for our West Coast friends it's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're attending live, and they're partaking in that specialized knowledge for business, for their business, so they can become more successful. So to me, specialized knowledge is so important, and it goes hand in hand with self-improvement. Really, they are just like a husband and a wife. And if you focus on both, and you dedicate yourself and you make the commitment to yourself that you want to learn, you want to expand your knowledge. I mean, we talk about this with our team here all the time, how important it is to keep learning and keep studying and keep improving. But if you don't, then it doesn't matter what desire you have. It doesn't matter what beliefs you have. If you don't take the effort to actually prepare your skills or improve your skills to actually get the job done, then nothing happens.
That is true. I mean, and it takes a lot of effort on your personal side, right? I mean, to enhance your skills, you can't always do it during the same working hours that you actually need to accomplish stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I can't even begin to say how many hours I've spent at home, like listening to your teachings, even though I work here. Every time I listen to more of the Leap Ahead, even while it's live, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I need to keep reminding myself of that.
Yeah.
You start catching these little tidbits and you're like, oh, you know, I can adjust there. I can do that. And it just enhances you so much more.
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
And I have to say, talking about the Leap, I got some emails today from Rita Mayberry, who's a brand new Mastermind member.
So excited.
And she's in our Ready to Fly, and she sent me an email. And she's like, I just wanted to tell you how thankful I am, number one, that I'm a Mastermind member, but number two, that I'm attending the Leap. She's like, even though she's not open yet, she goes, I know what I'm going to do when I do open. And she goes, I'm not going to make costly mistakes. You're going to help me avoid those.
That's right.
And she had the biggest smile she could. I was like, oh, and it just warms your heart, right?
Yeah, very nice.
That's why we do what we're doing, to give them that specialized knowledge.
Yes, for sure. So number 6 was imagination. I like that because it's the workshop of the mind. And imagination actually is an important principle also that he talks about, because imagination allows you to dream and expand your desires, and just it opens up this whole opportunity for you. And I like, my favorite words are infinite possibilities that you have. But if you don't sit down and take the time to really imagine what you could do, then you're limiting yourself, and you limit by your own thoughts. So I want to give you the permission to just run away with your imagination, close your eyes and dream big. There's no reason why you can't. So keep that in mind.
And I love it. Every time I think about that, we always talk about Disney, right? Because it's right here in Florida, it's so close. But it gives you the power to make fairy tales become reality, right? Sure. And that's what happens in your normal everyday life. You know, you want to be a general manager, a CEO, you can, right? Just through imagination.
Exactly. Well, and it goes behind organized planning.
Correct. But I mean, you have to imagine that you're doing that in order to do that.
For sure. So once you've imagined and you went on this huge dream kick of yours, then you need to sit down and have an organized plan to actually accomplish it. And it really does make a big difference, because without a plan, you're winging it.
Well, and I think that's why chapter 7 is right behind imagination, which is an organized plan.
Exactly.
When we kept talking about, Tara and I would talk kind of on the side off air, and about, okay, we have all these ideas and thoughts and imagination, but where's the plan? Because we're both very much planning people. So we're both like, she can't be leading us down a road where there's no plan. Right. That's not something Dori would do. So where's the plan?
Right. And sometimes, like, even for me, like, Dori will come in and say, okay, we're going to do this. And I'm like, okay, I'm not quite sure why we're doing that yet, but I know that she literally has done exactly what she said. She's thought about it. She's done the whole organizing, and she has a plan, and she knows how the end of it's going to be, you know, and it's like, okay, I'm on the ride, so let's figure it out. And then at the end of it, I'm like, okay, so it did work, you know, but here I'm like, are we sure this is going to work? But then I love it, because it's not just
virtual leap.
Right, absolutely, the virtual leap.
And the thing about the virtual leap that I am loving is, A, I'm sitting right here, and B, it's all new content.
Yes.
She recreated the virtual leap in a weekend.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Well, not quite a weekend, but
pretty close.
She's had a lot of thought by it.
Yeah, she has. But it's, I mean, she's definitely just constantly, she comes in and we're, every day, it's like, you did what? You recreated that? That's amazing. Right. And it's just so great.
Well, you just always want to strive to do your best. Right? Yeah. I think it's very important. And that's really the lesson to take away here from organized planning, is that you want to always be relevant. You always want to adapt. You always want to pivot. You always want to improve. And the more you do of that, then the better off you are. So it makes a difference. So number 8 was decision. The mastery of procrastination, which is horrible. Procrastination is the devil. You need to kill it. Because you really need to get things done. You need to get motivated, and you need to accomplish your goals and what you really want to do. Because if you don't make a decision right now to want to be successful, to want to have a great lifestyle, to live the life that you deserve, then it's not going to happen also. And that's what I love about all these principles. You guys really need to remember every one of these as we went through. I know we went through in depth with every chapter, but I wanted to at least remind you of some of the essential things that we talked about during every one of these discussions with the chapters. And then chapter 9 was persistence, and how to sustain effort necessary to induce faith. The sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Persistence. It goes really hand in hand with making a decision, because when you make a decision, you don't want to make a decision and then quit. You want to make a decision and stick to it and make sure that you are persistent and keep going forward. And it makes really a big difference to the results. which brings us to today, which is the power of the mastermind. And again, as Tara mentioned, if you notice in every one of these chapters, he always mentioned the mastermind and how important it is to anyone's success. And he starts it off, of course, with the main character in the book that he talks about throughout, the Fords, the Edison, the Andrew Carnegie, all these people that were just so successful back in that era, and how they were able to achieve the success through the power really of mastermind. Because if you surround you surround yourself with people that are of a level that you want to be, then they're gonna rub off on you. You're gonna be that person. And if you're hanging around people that are not those kind of people,
Right.
they're the losers, then you're gonna end up losing. So you have to be very careful who you associate yourself with. It makes a big, big difference.
And I like how every time you mentioned them, you could tell that they were part of a mastermind, right? And, one of them had to even go to a court and say, why do I need to know everything when I can push a button and have someone else answer any question for you? And to me, that's the power behind it, right?
Absolutely.
You're not alone.
She's talking about Ford. Remember in the chapter, they were telling him that he was ignorant and stupid and doesn't know what he's doing. And that's why he said, why do I need to clutter my mind with unnecessary information when I can push a button to have anybody come in and answer that question?
And we've been using that inside the office. Like someone was saying something to me and I'm like, do I really need to know that? And they're like, well, do you plan on coding at all?
We used it on the leap yesterday.
That's right.
We used it on the leap.
Yeah, somebody called in. Somebody actually sent the question because I was talking about doing a Facebook campaign and how to upload your database into Facebook. So somebody reaches out and says, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't do that. I tell my team to do that. And then she's like, she pushes a button.
And she does. I mean, it's like, why clutter your brain?
Yeah.
She will never use it.
Oh.
She does not need to know how to do it.
I want to do it.
So why? And I think sometimes, like, when we're meeting our clients, like they're like, oh, well, yes. And they'll say, oh, well, I can do that. Or I can go and code my website. And I'm like, you can? And they're like, well, I'm sure I can figure it out. I'm like, why would you want to?
Exactly.
I'm like, you're an expert in the medical field. Why should a doctor sit there and try to code their site or an entrepreneur? I'm like, we're the experts in that and coaching and your business. You're the expert at providing the treatment. And we should all stay in those lanes because that's what we're best at, And then she was like, okay, I guess I don't really know. And I'm like, not really.
So let's start by defining the word mastermind. So he talks about it being consistent of two or more people that can actually get together and be in perfect harmony of the attainment of a definite purpose. So anytime let's say you want to get something done, we all know that more than one brain is better than one brain. So whenever you have the power of multiple brains, then you're going to be much better off, especially if you keep your purpose in mind of what you're trying to attain, then everybody can help you attain that. And that's really what the Mastermind Group is designed to do. Now, there are all types of mastermind groups out there. And there are some mastermind groups and coaching groups that are kind of combined, which is what we actually offer, because our group is not just a mastermind group. What we have is a coaching and mastermind combined together. But what I would like to know actually is how many people really in our audience have ever belonged to a mastermind group, or whether they actually belong now. It'll be interesting to see how many people, if you want to chime in and tell us. It does make a big difference, though. I know when I joined, I told you a little bit of the story, I think in chapter 1 or chapter 2, when I first joined the Mastermind Group ever was after I left my hospitality job as vice president. I decided to go out and open up my own business. I had no idea I ran a resort, but I didn't necessarily know how to run, your own business. So that's the reason why I joined the very first mastermind group ever. And that was about 20 years ago, 20 years ago. And I haven't really stopped since because I like being around very successful people because they help me and I help them. And that's the part about being in a mastermind group. You can't just take.
Right.
You have to take and give. So being part of a group like this, it's all about sharing. You can't be cheap. You can't be stingy about, oh, I don't want to tell anybody my secret. No, that's not what this is about. This is all about sharing your knowledge, sharing your expertise, making sure you're benefiting everybody, and therefore you also benefit.
And I think that's part of, you can't just join any mastermind group.
No.
And yes, we all want to be surrounded by successful people, but we want to be surrounded by successful people inside of our specialized knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that way you're in a group of like-minded people, as we always say. So, when you're trying to decide which group is best for you, you don't, join a book gathering outside of we call it book gathering, but you know what I'm talking about, a book club to talk about a book like this, right? Because we're actually making this become reality into a business. It's definitely a different concept.
Mm-hmm.
So
one part in the book, he talks about that when people are part of a mastermind group, they can accomplish in 1 year what some people take a whole lifetime to accomplish. And that's really, it's like your success on steroids. That's really what it is. You'll be able to get to success the fastest way possible. And that's really why people join mastermind groups. And the other reason really is sometimes we get stuck in our own little bubble, in our own little world that we don't see sometimes beyond like 6 feet of us. Or we might look at the same thing and somebody else comes in. I'm famous for that. I was just reading a menu for one of our clients that my team is designing. I was proofreading like the last little bit of it. And like I see things that she may not see or she may not see, and I see them. So it depends on where you are in your preparation to success. And that's what makes such a difference in being part of a mastermind group, is that other people allow you to see things that you may not be seeing right now. And it makes really a big difference on your growth and your career path to make sure that you keep reaching and you keep improving and keep succeeding. That's really...
Well, and as your role in a company changes and evolves, learning those new skill sets takes a moment. And you have to have other people that have those skill sets that can say to you, hey, look, this is really the way that this is supposed to go. Tell me why.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me show you, then you tell me back why it is. And Dori does a great job of that. Tell me what your takeaway was.
Right.
What did you gain from that? And I think as a leader, and I see Dori as a mastermind leader for even our team, as well as our members, that she always puts it back on the client or the team member. She did it today. What would you say if you saw this website? Right. What would you say if this was if you went to this and you were going to click on it, what would you say to that?
Talking to a client, we were doing a coaching session with one of our mastermind members, and she had just launched a brand new website. And it's amazing to me because so many people just like build websites to build websites. This particular young lady, she had already hired a website company to build her website before she actually knew about us. And it's so sad because she paid a lot of money for it. She paid more than $10,000 for it. Yet it's not really designed. It's not designed to generate leads or to actually gain opt-ins or to make money. She's not selling gift cards. She has no shop, or the shop link she had was sending them to the brand's link, where the first button you see is
find the provider in your area.
Find other med spas.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you? That's when the questions came in. I'm like, why would you want to do that? Yeah. Why would you want to tell them, go find my competition?
Right. Where you just type in your zip code and it tells you all the med spas offer the same product. And it's like.
Exactly. Right. So, but then the other thing is, I was telling her, so on the homepage, she has like membership. and it's like huge with $199 a month, and the font is like this big.
Wow.
And then it said click, and the click was to an email. And I'm like, well, what would you say to this?
Yeah, what would you write in the email?
Close the email.
No, I said to her, would you buy this? Like, if you came here and you saw $199 and there's only one little phrase here, would you want to buy this now? She's like, no. I said, so why is it on your website?
Right.
So those are the things that sometimes when we are in our own little world, it takes someone like us or somebody that really cares about you to tell you, hey, you don't need to gain 25 pounds. I'm saying that because that's what Sarah said earlier. I want to gain 25 pounds. I'm like, you don't want to gain 25 pounds. You look beautiful.
Muscle weighs more than fat, Dori.
There you go.
Anyway, but yeah, we need other eyes. We need to look at things with brand new eyes.
Well, that's what I was going to say is just we have people all the time that will look at their financials and they're like, oh, they look great. They look like that every month for the last year. And I'm like, okay, but we're looking at them. We've never seen them before. And $10,000 in marketing that's generating leads is not good.
It's not okay.
That's not okay. Just because you let it go and it's always done that doesn't mean it's always right.
Yeah.
2% profit. It's always been 2% profit.
Yeah.
Right. And it's
What?
But I think that's the problem is sometimes, like Dori said, you can't see past 6 feet in front of you and you're just looking at the same thing and you just compare it to last month and it looks the same as last month, which looks the same as the month before, and you don't realize that you can change it.
Yeah.
And there's this opportunity to improve it.
And then the other thing is having somebody like hold you accountable a little bit. Now, we're not a babysitting service.
No.
Don't get me wrong. That's the last thing I want to do. But it is nice to set goals and share with them, like our last mastermind meeting. Normally we do 2 a year mastermind meeting. That's all we do. It's all about the group sharing and talking and studying and learning from one another, doing round tables and things. And if you at the end of the mastermind meeting, which that's what we normally do, write out all the things you want to do. And then we go around, okay, what are you committing to do before the next meeting? What are you committing to do? And everybody stands up and actually tells everybody what they're going to do. Well, the last thing you want to do is come back to the next meeting and look like a total idiot because you didn't do your stuff. So that's the accountability I'm talking about. And it's you holding yourself accountable. It's not just, having somebody babysit you, because we're all professionals. We don't need a babysitter. We just want to feel like, okay, I've accomplished my goal and now I want to share it with my peers so they can celebrate with me. And that's really what this is about.
And I think we all like to be a part of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every one of us want to. And I have to tell you,
it's a belonging, sense of belonging.
Right. And that's how our members are, They love to be a part of it, not only for the business education that they're getting, but the like-minded people, but they have other people that are just like them, right?
Right.
I mean, we know all of them. They talk to each other. They give them ideas. Hey, thinking about doing
They send each other like the T-shirt from their spa or their, whatever their.
Yeah, they become like family.
Friends.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I had a client say who was a mastermind member. They're like, before I gave this to Dori, we sent it to a fellow mastermind member and said, what do you think about it? Do you think she'll rip it apart before I give it to her? But they were like, we just wanted a second person on it before we presented it over there because we were like, we knew. We weren't ready.
We do that,
but they were laughing and enjoying it, right? But they were like, we knew once we got it to Dori, she was just going to say, what's the offer? And we had to make sure we had the offer. And she was like, I sent it to him and said, can you find the offer? I was like, well, if you have to ask them if they can find it, maybe it's not there, right? It should just jump out on the page. But I mean, and that's the thing is, like she said, it's like a family. You can joke, have fun, but at the end of the day, they're all achieving things. And our mastermind members are never degressing, right? They're always moving forward.
Absolutely.
So
he talks in the book too about who was the very first mastermind person ever, and that was Jesus Christ. He had 12 mastermind members, his disciples. And all he had to say was, remember I mentioned that I think a couple weeks ago. All he had to say was, follow me. And they did. And think of what those 12 people and Jesus talking about burning desire, talking about imagination, talking about not procrastinating, talking about getting things done, having an organized plan,
Faith.
Having, of course, faith. All these things, just like, okay, let's get it done. Let's change the whole
Could you
world.
just imagine right now, honestly, if Dori stood up and looked at every med spa owner and just said, follow me. And here they all
It's like the
come.
Pied Piper.
Yes,
right?
oh my
Pied Piper,
gosh.
the little mice follow the Pied Piper.
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here thinking,
Oh, you're
That's what
so
she should
funny.
do
We
next
should
year.
once we get our studio, that's what I should do.
there you
Follow me.
go. Follow me. But I mean, could you imagine? Now people call. We're not for everybody. And we're not. And some people, if you want to make a difference and move forward and really have structure in your place, as we're always talking about the 4 S's, then we're the place for you. But I could only imagine if she said, follow me, why would you not do it? But I mean, seriously, how many
I say all the
times?
time, don't you want every med spa and
Right.
day spa and wellness center to have these systems and structures in place? Because do you know how we could capitalize on that for our members and for everybody that owns one of those businesses? If everybody did things the right way,
Right.
this industry would be worth even more value than it is right now.
Right.
Yeah, because it is sad that a lot of people just don't know what to do or how to do it, and they don't realize that there are people like us out there.
Mhm.
I guess they don't know about Google yet.
No,
I guess not, but it's
we're gonna have to teach
amazing.
them how to Google.
Yeah,
They
right.
need to Google.
We're gonna make a meme, be like Google Dori, Google Dori, Google Dori, or a TikTok or
TikTok.
something. We're gonna do a TikTok,
Yeah, I don't
Google
know.
Dori. But I mean, it's serious. I mean,
Yeah.
constantly we have people call the time. Oh yeah, I found you on Google. We're like, great, you've come to the right place.
Yeah.
No more
Well,
searching. Turn off Google.
But he even says it, really. The mastermind is all about the principle that you use someone else's intelligence. Like if somebody already has figured something out,
Right.
then it's much easier for you to just take it
Implement.
and do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's really what it is. It's use the intelligence of other people to help you. That's
Right. Well, and that's what they're all doing every month. I mean, I had someone the other day say, you know what? I have no idea what this answer is and it looks foreign to me, but they were like, I just figured I'd put it in front of you because to you it's probably like, oh, that's no big deal. Let me tell you what to do.
Mhm.
They're like, you've probably seen it 100 times, but to me, I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
And they're like, can we just, memberships, right? You did the new coffee system.
Mhm.
And someone's like, I love the coffee system. Can I take that and implement it? And I'm like, well, that's why she created it. Like, but they're like, isn't it copying? And I'm like, but it's called the copy system, right? And I'm like, that's exactly why Dori created it. She wants you to take that and put it right in your med spot. You know?
And there's a webinar that says how to present this to the team and
Yes.
to the guests. I mean,
Come
come
And
on.
they're like, oh, it's
In the
amazing. I'm like,
presentation.
that's why she created it, because if it was crap, she wouldn't have created it, right?
That's right. But what do you know what it comes down to, though, is that you have to be willing to pay the price.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's financial, time, education, everything has a price. And if you're not willing to pay the price, whatever that price is, then you're not going to do it.
Right.
It's going to go back to just winging it, trying to figure things out, going to the right, going to the left, not knowing exactly what to do. And it goes back to that commitment that he talks about and making a decision. You have to really make a decision that, you know what, I am willing to pay the price, whatever the price is. Then I know if I do that, things are going to come, because there's nothing for free.
No.
Whether, again, it's time, money, education, whatever.
Right.
There's really, and if it is free, usually
Crap.
it's
not
not
worth
worth
it.
it. So you just have to really be willing to want to do that, pay that price. And whatever that is for you, make the commitment that, yes, I am going to change my life. And that's really what this whole book is all
Right.
about. It's about a transformation of your own life to the better. And if you make that commitment, you make the decisions, and you make the organized plan, then you will reach that. And that's really a very important part. Do we have some questions coming in? We're about halfway. Oh, we're more than halfway through. Wow,
Just
just went
cruising
by
right
quickly.
along.
So he talks about power while you're looking up questions. He talks about power is organized knowledge. Knowledge is very important. We talked about the power of knowledge before and specialized knowledge. But when you have power behind anything, not just knowledge, anything that you want to do, then you're more likely to achieve that thing instead of being wimpy and unsure and like meek or afraid. We talked about fear also, how you can't be fearful. So if you think of yourself as I am powerful, I can accomplish anything. And you need to be telling yourself those nice self-positive affirmations. And when you stand, if you're standing feeling powerful, then you feel like you can just accomplish anything, right?
Right.
And that's something I really want you to take away today is figure out how you come across to people. Are you coming across to people as meek and, yeah, let's do this? Or are you coming across as confident and powerful and positive and feeling like you are a successful person? And when you have that aura about you, people get drawn to you, which
Right.
makes a big difference.
So we're all talking about mastermind, right? And Luana has a question. She goes, how do I decide which one is the right mastermind group and what should I expect to receive from it?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking it. Like there are a lot of mastermind groups that are general, like Tara was saying, they're just general for all kinds of businesses. I think what makes ours nice and unique is that we are in that niche industry. And part of being in this mastermind group and coaching group, because remember, I said we really do both. You're going to get the benefit of that specialized knowledge that we were just talking about. And when you have a mastermind group that is geared towards your industry, that offers you proven, effective systems and models, really, we offer the best business model out there. And when you have that, then there's really no doubt, because we have one success story after another. We'll be happy to have you talk to some people. But it is very important, especially if you're just starting out. I don't know where they are in their career. If I'm just starting out, I'm going to go to the people that are going to help me set up the business based on the industry that I'm in.
Right.
So that would be very important.
When I had someone say the other day, they're like, well, I can just ask an accountant. And I'm like, but does your accountant know the industry? Yeah, you can ask an accountant, but looking at a budget in the med spa, like you don't just pull a price out of the air for a facial, and we've seen so many people, I've looked at them when we first met them, I'm like, how'd you come up with that? And they're like, I just, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, do you even know if you're breaking even or whatever? That's not what we do, right? Even our budget is specific to this industry because we know how important every element is.
Sure.
And I think when choosing that mastermind, you have to look and make sure that they really do understand.
Yeah.
And like she said, there's not another model like this.
Mm-mm.
And it's not a model that you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours to understand it, to create it. It's literally a model that you can just almost open, little bit of finessing, little bit of work, and it's ready to go right into your business,
Minor customization.
Yeah, absolutely. But when I'm talking about a little bit of work, like you have to watch the videos and you actually have to sit down and implement.
It's paying the price.
Right, and that's the price, right? Watching the
investing.
training.
Yeah.
Investing.
Yeah.
So to piggyback on that, I just got a little message in that do you need to have a professional mastermind group as well as a personal mastermind group? Should they be the same? Should they be different? Do you need them both? Where do you start?
Well, the reason I combined two, because all my groups, even though they're very expensive, ones I've joined in the past, they were very general. And we only basically met like twice or three times a year. And they did not provide the coaching like for specific things I needed. So I always felt that part missing, though I really enjoyed them and benefited from them. But I felt like, I want to make a program that would be helpful for both. I want to be able to provide the education on how to run a business, but then I also want to give them the opportunity to be part of a mastermind group where they don't just learn from me, but they can also learn from each other. And that's really why I even changed it recently. We changed our VIP program to be different because we're always wanting to improve it. And it's making such a big difference. I mean,
Unbelievable.
we're just rocking and rolling with new members right now. It's unbelievable. And people are just loving this type of program. So because we do hit both, we're very unique. And you know me, I'm always wanting to be different. It's all about differentiation. So if you go to compare like our program with regular mastermind meetings, there's really nothing like what we do out there for this industry. I think we are it. Some people try to copy us, as a matter of fact.
We've seen
all
that
the time.
for sure.
We get people that try to copy me all the time. And I just see it as a compliment.
Yeah.
That's how you should see it once people copy you.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
And then what you want to do is just keep innovating. And that's why I changed the program again, because people were copying what I had before. And I'm not going to stand for that. I want to always improve. So that's why I combine both from way back. Actually, let me share with them how I started the membership program. I remember a long time ago, my very first membership was Coach Me Silver.
Yeah.
And it was a teleseminar back then. It was me getting on the phone for 1 hour a month. And people joined for, I think it was like $9.99.
Every once in a while we see the word Coach Me Silver around here.
So, and then I went to one of my mastermind meetings and we were talking about recurring revenue and what I should do with my business. And when I was in my hot seat, because that's what we did, and I told everybody what I was doing, and they're like, huh? You need to make that $999. So I went back, and that's really what I did. That's how our first mastermind, we had one time.
Gold, I think, if I remember.
Yes, and it was $999. Right. And that's how I started really growing the business, is due to other people making recommendations and getting me to raise my prices like I'm always getting you to do. But that's how I started. I started with one small little tiny membership, and before I knew it, now our highest level is what? What's the new one?
3,000, our high achiever.
Yeah, our high achiever is $3,000 a month, and people pay it because they know what they're getting. They see the value in it. So imagine going from what you're selling your Botox for right now. We have some people that are still with the wrong mindset. They're selling it for $8.99. And imagine selling it for $16 or $17 a unit. What would stop you from doing that? Asking
don't say
for
the person next door.
Asking for it, right? So you just have to have enough confidence in yourself and provide the expertise that you know you can provide and make an impact in people's lives. Then you can increase your prices and you can ask what you're worth, and people will come and pay it. And it's just, again, it goes back to, what is it that you want? Do you want to be known to be the cheapest person, or do you want to be known to be the best person that provides what you really want and need and gain the results from it? So as long as you do that, you can charge whatever you want.
And I think when you're getting treatments done, right? It's all about the results. So if someone is looking at you and saying, oh my gosh, like your face looks stunning, you don't say, oh my God, they're the most expensive place ever.
Right.
That's why I go to them.
Actually, you brag about it.
You say, oh my gosh, right? Like they're not
worth every penny,
but I will continue paying every penny for it. I mean, we get the same thing for our mastermind members. They tell us all the time, they're like, it's worth every penny and so much more, because the return on investment is 10 times.
Let me brag about her for a minute. I received an email from Carrie Foreman, a mastermind member of ours. I'm at home again at 4:00 in the morning reading my emails, and he writes to me, and I don't remember it verbatim, but basically the thing is, I am so glad Tara is part of your team. She has been such a great asset with helping us open up our place. She is amazing. And I forwarded the email to her so she can see it. But those are the people, I mean, he's paying whatever, $18.95 a month to help him get started. And he's loving every minute of it, because if he did not have us, and face it, this guy is a major entrepreneur. He has 400 employees in his other company.
Right.
So they're not like...
It's not like he's never done this before.
Exactly. He is a business person, and he hired us and loves my team because we're walking him through this process.
Right.
And it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and he started off as a business proposal, right?
Yeah.
We did the whole package where we literally helped
Yeah.
them build from the
Everything.
interior design to everything, and he's converted into a mastermind member.
Yep.
You know?
We have a question that came in online. Slayman Susie says, how many levels do you have for Mastermind Group, and what is the difference?
So the way we changed it to recently is we have 3 different levels, and it's all about the flying high. And the first level is getting ready to fly. And what we used to do before the change is people would just join and they would gain access to everything. And sometimes they may feel overwhelmed because we have so much stuff. So what we did, the new program, and why people are loving it so much, is we're taking you through a process of implementation. So the very first year, we want you to implement these things. And we will walk you through the process to just implement those things. So now you're getting ready. You're setting the solid foundation. Then we go to the next phase. The next phase is taking the foundation and now magnifying it a little bit more. And then we go the third year, because really it does take 3 years to
We're
implement.
almost like building a structure, right? We have the
Yeah.
foundation, then the next year we're putting the walls,
Yeah.
right? And then that third level, we've built the roof, and
Yeah.
now we've got this solid house, if you will,
Yeah.
that's not going to fall.
Or we're going to supersonic speed.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying is the third year. The third
Yes.
year we're putting that roof on
Yes.
it. And then, we have that high achiever where we're just making sure it just keeps soaring every month. And this is a monthly commitment, right? Because we're committing to coaching each and every one of our mastermind members, right? So it's a commitment on our
Yeah.
side as well as a commitment on their side, right? Because we expect a commitment from them.
So
they're going to do that.
If those of you who are
Susie.
with us would like, Susie, if you'd like to go to the website, InSPArationManagement.com, you'll see the Coach Me memberships, and the program is called Flying High, and you'll be able to see all 3 levels and what you actually get. So like, for example, in the second level, you attend the mastermind meetings, you come to the Millionaire Circle, which is a higher level seminar. You get to do your book where we get you published. Those are all the things that we do in the second year. Right. So it's very well thought out. Actually, it took me a while to really come up with this program. They don't think I take a long time, but I really do. They just think
Dori's doing stuff behind scenes.
They just think that poof, things happen.
Because I have to tell you, the reason why we think that is Dori doesn't walk around and just say, I thought. She doesn't tell us. She doesn't come in announcing. She really sits there for months and months and months and thinks about it and thinks of every single piece. Like, if I was going to do this, why would I want to do this? What do I want to gain out of it? She's asking all those questions. Remember, we talked about in a couple of chapters. Who's this going to benefit? Why is it going to benefit them? So she thinks about all of this before she even sits down and has a conversation saying, okay, I really want to change this. And we're like, what'd you think of that last night? And, but we know that you've already asked all those questions. So let me ask you, Matt is asking, pigging off of Susie here, when is the best time that I should invest in a mastermind group?
Well, I invested right when I went into business for myself. So it depends for everybody. It's a little bit different. But I mean, why procrastinate? The sooner the better. If you know what you want, you are an entrepreneur, you're opening up a business, or you've been in business, and you might be already successful, but you want to be even more successful. I was talking to a new friend. I met this guy, and he has like a super successful business, and his business does $500 million a year. And, here I am. I thought I was successful with my, few millions. And it's like, oh my God, 500 million. Like, I wanted to pick his brains and see exactly how he went from zero.
to
We
that.
had actually a lot in common. He's the youngest child. I'm the youngest child. His dad pushed him into business. My dad pushed me into business. And it's like, but how did he get to 500? Now, granted, he's 70 some years old. I'm only 50 something, so I still have time to catch up. But it's amazing. So if you set your mind, you decide that you want to be the best of the best, and you're not satisfied with what you have right now, now is the time to join.
I agree. I mean, you literally can't even say more than that.
Yeah. So, all right. So we have only a couple more minutes, right?
Right.
And
This
what
hour
we're gonna
flies
do?
by
I know
every
it's so
single
much
week.
fun. So
Because
much
we're
fun.
all flying high.
That's right.
We're ready to go.
Supersonic speed.
There you go.
If you guys are not sure whether you really want more information about a mastermind group, we have a team of professionals here that can answer your questions. Sarah is one of them. Kim is one of them. So can Tara and Meaghan and me and anybody. So if you go again to inspirationmanagement.com, you'll be able to find out about the flying high and be able to ask your questions.
So Susie also had a question. A solopreneur can benefit too from Mastermind?
Oh,
I was a solo when I first joined. I mean, anybody. We have so many, like Shelby Miller, when she first started, she was all by herself. We have, and that's the thing. If you want to grow beyond that, then yes. If you're happy being all by yourself and happy making whatever money you're making, then, keep doing what you're doing. So it depends on what your ultimate goal is.
because I mean, as a solo, you can only work so many hours in a day and can only make so much
Well, sure,
money.
you're only one human. But
Right.
like Dori was saying the other day, is somebody had asked during Leap Ahead, if you're a solopreneur, what's the one position you should hire for, right? And so a guest relations or marketing person is that one person because, again, the hats, you can't wear every single hat. And so having a person to help you with then that solopreneur and that marketing person as a mastermind member could take that business to the next level.
Well, and it really goes to the desire, what you want to do with your life. So what we're going to do for a giveaway today, so anybody that would like access to one, we call them Brewing Brilliance Zoom meetings that we do once a month with our mastermind where I actually teach. And then they have their call with each other that they share. So we do 2 calls a month. And so if you want to do that, then we'll just email Tara and we'll be more than happy to send you that audio.
Absolutely. To me, that makes everybody a
Another
winner.
question,
Yeah.
Sarah?
To see the value of that.
Yes, so we have 1 minute, so thank you. I know we're gonna Instagram is gonna kick us off. So thank you, ladies, for being
Thank you
here.
for
Thank
having
you
us.
all of
Always.
you for
Thank you.
having us. Thank you, Sarah, for helping us.
You're welcome.
Take care, you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, stay
Stay
inspired. Bye now.